Democrats have been united in sounding the alarm on the healthcare crisis that Republicans are creating in this country. It started with Republicans' budget and their big ugly bill, the largest cut in healthcare in U.S. history. And now, Speaker Johnson's refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Of course, we know that this is nothing new for Republicans. For more than a decade, they have been hell-bent on repealing the Affordable Care Act without putting forward an alternative in its place. And as we saw this week, nothing has changed with House Republican leadership, but something has changed within their own ranks. Yesterday, 4 House Republicans finally joined with Democrats on our discharge petition to force a vote on a clean 3-year extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. House Democrats know that Americans cannot afford to pay an extra $1,000 every year for their health care, especially in this economy. And when people don't have health insurance, they don't stop getting sick, they don't stop needing medication, they don't stop needing care for them and their kids. And as Leader Jeffries has said all along, this is the only real plan on the table to ensure that Americans' premiums don't skyrocket by the end of the year. We have the votes, we have the momentum, we have the American people on our side. Let's not waste another second. Speaker Johnson, bring this bill to the floor right now. Next, our amazing whip, Catherine Clark.
Thank you so much, Chairman Aguilar, and good morning, everyone. A reporter asked Speaker Johnson yesterday if he's lost control of the House because 4 Republicans joined 214 Democrats to force a vote on health care. But here's the truth. It's not about Speaker Johnson. Yesterday was the American people reclaiming the people's house and proclaiming that health care is a right and not a privilege for the wealthy. Dr. King told us of all forms of inequality, injustice in health is the most shocking and the most inhuman. And the first year of this administration has certainly been shocking and inhuman. At every turn, Trump and his loyalists in the House have chosen injustice. They have made the morally corrupt choice to take health care away from people who work hard for a living to fund tax cuts for the very wealthiest. They were so eager to pass these permanent tax cuts for the billionaire class, they called us back from recess in July, all at the expense of the health and financial security of working families. That is how they have chosen to lead. The Republicans chose to shut down government. They chose to leave town rather than negotiate with us on a solution. They chose to ignore skyrocketing premiums. They chose to build a ballroom for their cronies rather than build a strong middle class. But thanks to the unity of this caucus, the leadership of Hakeem Jeffries, and the resolve of the American people, Democrats have secured a vote on extending the ACA tax credits. The only question that remains is when. And I humbly suggest it should be today. So, Speaker Johnson, don't send us home without a vote. Put this bill on the floor. The American people are watching, and they deserve a vote. And now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our leader, Hakeem Jeffries.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, House Democrats, for always showing up, standing up, and speaking up for the American people. And because of the leadership of House Democrats, of this House Democratic Caucus, we've successfully secured a vote with a successful discharge petition to protect the health care of the American people and extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. We're here gathered on the House steps with one last thing remaining. We want to make clear to Mike Johnson that the American people deserve a vote on the Affordable Care Act tax credit legislation and deserve that vote today. No more excuses, no more delay, no more burying your head in the sand. Under no circumstances should the House of Representatives adjourn until we successfully extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for tens of millions of Americans. The American people deserve a vote today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, today.
Today.
Republicans have had all year to address this health care situation. But they've been too busy trying to jam their extreme agenda down the throats of the American people. Republicans have been too busy enacting reckless tariffs that increase costs on everyday Americans by thousands of dollars per year. Republicans have been too busy gutting the health care of the American people. Republicans have been too busy ripping food from the mouths of hungry children, seniors, and veterans. Republicans have been too busy enacting massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors. And Republicans have been too busy treating the Congress like it's a wholly owned subsidiary of the Trump cartel. Let me be clear about something. We ain't down with any of that. House Democrats aren't here to bend the knee to Donald Trump. We're here to bend the arc of the moral universe toward justice. We believe, as House Democrats, that the cost of living in this great country is far too high, that America is too expensive, that far too many people, working class folks, are struggling to live paycheck to paycheck, can't thrive, can barely survive. That the most important thing that the Congress should be doing is driving down the high cost of living to make life more affordable for everyday Americans. We believe that in this great country, that when you work hard and play by the rules, you should be able to live an affordable life, a comfortable life, to live the good life. Not too complicated in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. We believe that when you work hard and play by the rules, you should be able to live the good life. Good paying job, good housing, good health care, good education for your children, and a good retirement, which means keep your hands off our Social Security and our Medicare at all times. And Democrats believe in this great country, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, that access to high-quality health care can't simply be a privilege that's only available to the wealthy, the well-off, and the well-connected. We believe as Democrats that in this great country, health care that's affordable and accessible is a right that should be available to every single American. That's what we believe, and that's what we're fighting hard to achieve. Now, unfortunately, all year, the American people have been dealing with this Republican health care crisis that is devastating everyday Americans. And we're here to call it out. We're here to provide a moment of clarity. Republicans have enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. Hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers are closing all across the country, including in rural America, because of toxic Republican policies in their one big ugly bill. Republicans have launched an all-out assault on the Centers for Disease Control, the National Institute of Health, the Food and Drug Administration, on vaccine availability for children, and on public health. And because of the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, tens of millions of Americans are at risk of being unable to go see a doctor when they need one. The Republican health care crisis is unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And our message to Mike Johnson is clear. You can run, but you cannot hide. The American people are horrified. Republican leaders are petrified, but House Democrats are unified, standing up on behalf of the American people to protect their health care. And so we're demanding a vote today on extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, today. And our promise to the American people is that we will continue to fight to drive down the high cost of living, continue to fight to fix our broken healthcare system, and we will continue to stand up for Medicaid, for Medicare, for the Affordable Care Act, for our hospitals, for our nursing homes, for our community-based health clinics, for the health care of every single American. House Democrats are in this fight until we win this fight. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care, and extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits now. God bless you, and God bless the American people.
All right, there you have Hakeem Jeffrey.
Madame, monsieur, voilà, c'est donc député démocrate qui réunit pour adresser dossier santé en dedans pays, assurance santé particulièrement, puisque programme qui était porté non ancien président Barack Obama, lui en passe là pour lui expirer. C'est ça les supports qui ont été qu'on là. Support qui ont été qu'on là. Li presque expiré, c'est d'ici mois de janvier, ça va arriver. Donc, qu'on y a là, parlementaires, yo mettez tête ensemble quand même, yo gagné possibilité pour gagner un vote en dedans chambre basse là, mais président chambre député a décidé pour l'aller avec tout l'autre collègue en vacances, c'est pour mois de janvier au projeté vote là les ça, et bien il faut connaître que et Sobsodaza l'abgetan expiré. Brian Walsh, qui c'est un médecin, il a été accusé comme moun qui touye madame ni qui décapité et qui te bail fausse information à la police côté que il te mettait cadavre là jusqu'à ce que il arrivé jeune score. Eh bien après plusieurs semaines jugement, monsieur condamné pour le passer toute Resville dans prison sans que il pas gagné aucune possibilité de parole pour que il a peut-être repensé Kalia. Donc monsieur qui était accusé comme moun qui était tué madame ni, il là pour le passer toute Resville dans prison. Nick Reiner qui c'est petite cinéaste, producteur, écrivain, acteur, Rob Reiner ensemble avec madame Nitou qui travaille dans le domaine culture. Eh bien, monsieur te paraît pour la première fois devant le tribunal hier pour te connaître une décision judiciaire concernant date que tu as commencé jugement li et puis mettez officielle accusation sous dol. Ça pas arrivé fait hier, avocat li demandé et puis yo postpone qui donc yo voyel pour une date qui plus loin, c'est date 7 janvier l'année prochaine, ça a arrivé fait. Nick Reiner, yo fait comprendre qu'il t'a tué maman là papa en bas coup de couteau. Samedi, monsieur était non fait la caille Conan qui c'est un gros comédien qui en pile monde connaît à travers le monde. C'était samedi, activité ça t'a réalisé la Kaili. Eh bien, il fait comprendre que il a monsieur un comportement drôle pendant qu'il était en dispute avec papa li. Et puis, dans dimanche, je pas jeune, on a mouru la Caillou. C'était, alors, samedi après-midi, il était jeune cadavre la Caillou. C'est une petite fille qui était relée. Qui relève la police qui dit que mais au moment la papa a bien dans ça donc moun sa été mouru en bas coup de couteau. La police a arrêté dans dimanche Nick Rainer pendant que monsieur tenait une pompe gasoline il t'a pral acheté depuis là monsieur en bas code et que il va prendre 5 belles quelle que soit quantité l'argent que tu as pour belle layout. La police et l'état la justice californienne dit il n'y a pas besoin 5 pour retirer monsieur en bas code dans côté que il est là. Je dis Donald Trump hier, il était fait un gros discours dans l'occasion, le chef d'État n'a pas hésité une autre fois encore pour le pointer du doigt ancienne administration qui est responsable pour lui-même tout mal que pays les États-Unis, il te connaît et il bail administration là belle note pour le travail qu'il fait pendant environ 11 mois, plus passer 19 trillions de dollars que yo entré dans tarif douanier, déporter millions de citoyens qui ont vécu de manière illégale en deux pays et qui a continué masse déportation selon plan que Donald Trump l'été connaît. Monsieur fait comprendre que c'est gros succès économique qu'il fait, bagage qui pas jamais arrivé sous aucune administration pendant environ une année pour rentrer toute l'argent ça dans tarif douanier pour population américaine que yo entend ba un petit grab d'air à hauteur de $2000. L'État de New York, il connaît qu'on y a là un autre archbishop, c'est Ronald X qui est gagné pour lui diriger l'église catholique dans tout l'État New York là, selon décision que Pape Léon l'était prend cardinal qu'on y a là, n'a parlé de Timothy Dolan, li content pour travail ça qu'il fait et bon côté Pape là alors l'a parlé, donc nous va apporter plus de détails pour vous avec une déclaration nouveau dirigeant de l'église catholique dans la New York là, monsieur qui parle pour lui très bien, il dit que il vit avec communauté pour là, Mexique, un peu le pays Amérique centrale et puis Colombie, il un peu les amis République dominicaine également. Je dis il comprend un problème qu'a traversé communauté ça, en sa culture, non seulement il parle l'anglais, mais il pénètre culture pays ça et il comprend un problème immigration qui gagne je dis sécurité l'état, il normal pour garantir sécurité pour pays li, mais il pas gagné trop il gagne problème avec on série de décisions que moun yo prend parce que il pas humain genre que traiter on série de monde. Je dis merci parce que tu es branché Pstars radio et télévision ou comme ça, c'était premier sorti dans la série bulletin yo. Eh bien madame Massin, li nan parage là la venir pour le présenter nos Pstars family